Hi friends, here we are to talk about the Louis Vuitton Murakami collaboration. And there are two sides of every story, so which side do you fall on? Are you happy or disappointed? Or maybe you're number three like me, let's just admire from afar. So Murakami, of course, was the collection that put Louis Vuitton on the map. And I remember seeing that in the early 2000s. I actually thought it was kind of tacky. So it was much later when I started to appreciate Louis Vuitton, and I did get my hands on a couple of Murakami pieces that were dated back from the 2000s era. So I was happy with that and luckily do not have the desire to overpay for one of these canvas pieces. Keep in mind, they are canvas. Okay, but this video is about the disappointment or excitement about this new launch for the Murakami collection. So it is coming out in 3 waves, 1, 2, and 3, and the wave 1 was just launched. So if you're a handbag lover, I'm sure you've heard about it. It was launched on July 3rd in the US, and there were pop-up shops in Singapore, China, and Japan. I'm very curious about how those pop-up shops worked. As I understand, I do see that people have unboxed on the YouTube, and I do see that people are also very disappointed in the way the bags were distributed or not distributed. As I understand, a lot of potential buyers who are excited to get this bag or something from this collection are very unhappy, and I did expect that. All right, so let's dive into it. So I got a message the other day from my friend in Texas. She works in a very metropolitan area of Texas that has a very high volume store. I'm not going to say where, but this is a client advisor who reached out to me regarding my channel, and a few of you have. I appreciate it. A few client advisors have reached out to me just because I'm like validating and sympathizing. I'm like the voice that validates what a client advisor might go through in a day working at Vuitton. It is a very stressful job, especially when there is a launch like this. So she left a message and she sounded absolutely exasperated, which I expected because it wasn't just January 3rd. There were actually 3 pre-sale dates for this launch, and that started on December 2nd, December 6th, and December 12th, as I understand. And if you were not a part of the pre-sale, you were not part of it. So that was the actual dates for the very important clients, also known as VIC. If you ever hear that term floating around, VIC means very important client. And they started the tiers at VVIC, actually Prestige, VVIC, and then VIC. If you spent over 100 grand in a calendar year, that qualifies you for the first tier. That's how serious it is. And then it goes down in tier to 50K, 25K, 10K, and then everyone else. So if you are a regular degular who does not have a huge spending history, there really was not much of a chance at all. Now, this also varies from city to city, what type of inventory, how popular it is in your particular area, meaning how many people are you competing with to get the item that you want. Okay, so as suspected, and I heard on the internet that most of these items were already sold out before the January 3rd drop date to the public. So after explaining the tiers to you, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about this. This is very similar to the way that Hermes functions in that they reward the best clients, the clients who have spent the most money, with the opportunity to spend even more money for the item that they, I know, sometimes may or may not want. Sometimes it's like, this is the one, it's exclusive. Do you want to buy it? And I have seen this, that people get in the mindset of like, yeah, okay, yeah, because if I don't buy it, someone else will, if it's the only piece in the store or the only piece in the state. So is this fair? Well, yes or no. It depends how you look at it. If you are that brand, would you want to reward your most loyal customers? And if you're a client advisor, is it easier to reach out to your already existing loyal customers than to sell it to someone else who is newer to the brand? But I also understand the complaint because this collection was heavily advertised to the general public. Someone might have been sitting for a long time waiting for this collection to come back, saving up for it, only to find that he or she, like, I don't have a chance at buying it, or I have to buy it from the resale market where it's even higher. So, according to this friend, she was absolutely exasperated for many reasons because, as it seems with any big drop with LV, it was a big cluster, and there's a lot of disorganization and not miscommunication, but no communication. So obviously, not even the public knew if they could get the bag or not. She told me there were people lining up outside the store since 7 a.m. And the thing is, nobody told them to, nor was anybody there to tell them not to. And the reason they lined up is because the website shows that there are pieces in that particular store. And I'm hearing from the internet that this is a glitch. Now, I'm going to tell you from my time working there, and it was a long time ago, it was like 2017. Even then, if an item would show it's at a particular store, it didn't really mean it was at the store. Or what happens is that those pieces are already allocated to the VICs. They just haven't been rung through the system yet. So it will show that it's there, but it's got its name on for someone else. So if I were one of those persons who wait in the line, I'd probably be very frustrated and also a little hangry. So I could understand the frustration in that. And then for my friend who's the client advisor, to have to tell every single person who comes in that the bag they want or the item they want is no longer available has got to be so exhausting. And then telling the whole story over and over again. Quick sponsor break. And I know this is going to seem contradictory since I've been talking about minimalism and anti-shopping and overconsumption. But my last sponsor of 2024 is She Said Yes. And us influencers, yes, we do take sponsorships because it costs money to maintain our channel. She Said Yes is one of the brands that we do a trade for jewelry, and I accept because I really love their jewelry. So here is my newest piece. It is a white and pink pearl bracelet with rose gold. And here are some of the other pieces that they have given me over the years. These are the rings that always get compliments. This is my newest one right here. I absolutely love them. And it's right up the alley of like my style of jewelry. It's quite dainty and it's better than costume jewelry. They are actually gold plated, but also look on this side, none of the plate comes off. So some of the other jewelry I have been gifted, this side always wears off, you know, the side where we use our hands, and nothing of the sort has happened with these. Oh, the necklace too. So I am always going to support and suggest She Said Yes first over any other brand that I've worked with. They always give my customers a really good discount. So you're going to find the links below. You know, if you missed a Christmas gift or Valentine coming up, I know as much as I am now promoting anti-shopping, I know people still come to YouTube for product reviews and shopping and stuff. So I just got to slide it in there as my last sponsor for 2024. And we'll see, well, how things go moving into 2025. But I really only recommend things that I actually use and wear on my, and I love wearing the jewelry from them. So check it out. So Louis Vuitton hasn't really learned from their mistakes. Their first huge collaboration before this was actually the Supreme Louis Vuitton collaboration, in which they had a pop-up shop that was supposed to last for 3 days, and it only lasted for 8 hours. This was in July of 2017, and that was actually right before I started working there. So I heard from the employees there how much chaos it was, that they could not keep inventory in the store, and what had happened was the phone was ringing constantly, and the people on the phone were buying up the inventory from or before the people who were lined up for shopping could get it. So that was really unfair because it was essentially a way to cut the line. So from then on, they disallowed anybody calling into the store, cutting the line for these special collaborations. Okay, not to say like this is just people calling the store, but if you have a way to call your CA directly, or if you have that VIC privilege, there are probably ways, you know, for those of you who saying, oh no, I called. But on the day of the drop, you're most likely not going to be able to call the store and order, especially if there are other people in the store. The people in the store always take priority. Okay, regardless, anytime there was a job when I did work there, they were always changing the rules because it was nearly impossible to find a fair way, a fair system for people to get the bags. I know at one time too, when I wasn't working there anymore, but I was doing content, that another advisor called me and told me that they were no longer doing wait lists for any canvas pieces. And then that changed for the next launch. So I don't think they have really tuned in their system of how to make it fair, but it's luxury. They get to make the rules, and not everyone gets to have it. So one of the videos I watched on this that I thought was very good was Dre Loves Bags, and she talks about this, how actually they don't want everyone to have it. So, of course, it's going to make people feel some kind of way. And this is what I've been saying on my channel, is that even though it's advertised to the mass market, they make you really want it, but it doesn't mean that that the brand really wants you to have it. It's still reserved for the rich, rich. What happened at my friend's store is people lined up at 7 a.m. because they thought there was inventory. They were looking on the website and the website wasn't keeping up with what was really going on. And I'm also hearing this from the internet. If you tried to order and place in cart, it would give you an error message. So by the time the collection actually launched, which was 1 p.m. on January 3rd, there was not much left but shoes, belts, the cuisine, that bag I don't like, maybe a high-rise and maybe a keep-all like some of the luggages, but nothing of the speedies or the pochette accessoire, nothing that anybody really wanted. So she then told them that you need to put your name or create an account on louisvuitton.com and create a wish list, and then maybe you have a shot. So there is another, I guess, drop or another chance for the public to buy, which will be on Friday. Now, of course, you see the problem. There are not clear instructions for the public, and there was not even clear instructions for the associates. And I can assure you, even managing all the VIC's orders, it takes a long time. So by the time the client advisor is through all those orders, like there's actually no time or inventory left for anyone else. Now, another thing that happened, and this happened at my particular store, and of course, everyone manages their store differently, but I would see pieces come in and managers would put them aside for VICs, or they would put them aside for their favorite CAs, and they would not tell anybody else. So our little system might tell us it is here, and therefore spend an hour looking for it, when in fact the thing is hidden, and after looking for it, you just kind of give up and tell the client it's gone, it's lost, we don't know where it is, or maybe it was ordered out to somebody else and hasn't just hasn't been processed yet. So anyways, what I'm telling you, if you have favoritism, a relationship, or VVIC, then you have a shot. For anybody else, it's going to be really hard, but it is doable. So what I also see is this is a great marketing tactic, because they are, with this collection, bringing back nostalgia, attracting a new customer, attracting a younger customer with their advertising with Zendaya. And even if they don't get what they want, this is the greatest bait and switch. Like, bring them in the store. If they don't see what they want, if we don't have what they want, they're in the mood to buy, and maybe they'll just buy something else to satisfy that bug for the moment. Or at least it gets that customer into the store so they can see what all this is about and then want to spend their money. If not now, maybe in 30 days from now. Or maybe even a perfume, just make them happy with something else so they get a taste. People were kind of mad because the messaging is like, this is for you, but then you get there and it's not really for you. But who knows? I don't know if anything will change during wave number 2 and wave number 3, which will present the other prints such as the cherry blossom and the cherries. And have they learned anything from this one? I don't think it will change much. They're still going to give priority to the VICs, but maybe the VICs won't want the next wave. I really don't know. But now that they have your attention, I bet most of you who do want this collection are going to find a way to get the collection. And I know that a lot of these pieces are going to be on the reseller market too, which of course is not fair, because I do agree, just leave it to the people who actually want the bag and who don't want to make a profit off the bag. But after all, this is capitalism. So I have listed some resources below of where you can find pre-loved multicolors from the first collection back in the 2000s. And I'm sure on these websites like Fashion File, the newer bags are going to show up just as well. But also, if you just wait less than 30 days, there's a 30-day return policy, and somebody is bound to return something. Anyways, let me know if you were able to get something, if you're not, if you've given up, or if you're just going to admire from afar. Thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh my gosh.